talk about deceptive advertising, and it's definitely all over the place. But I've encountered this looking for a cruise, and NCL, Norwegian Cruise Lines, seems to be a particular bad offender. And I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I've gone through this a couple times, and it seems that every time I go through the Norwegian Cruise Line booking procedure, I do the math in my head of what it should come out to be, and every time I'm off by a lot. Now there are some things that are added. This one of the big ones is the open bar gratuities, but that isn't what we're talking about here. And I can say that with Royal Caribbean, I've done the same process, and pretty much every time that I've done the calculations of what the total price should be, it's been about that price. But we see here we have this cruise. It's a 9-day cruise, and it's being advertised for $629 per person. So we see that $629 per person. And then there's these extra things: get all free offers, unlimited. Now, what we're going to encounter is, to get this free at sea, it's actually going to be an extra $50 per person. But that's not really, it just says that it's up to $34.50 free, and that's about it. Nothing else is said. Then we see that there's this more offers: second guest cruises free. Okay, so that's great. So if we start doing the calculations in our head, we have $629 per person, and then we see down here in the fine print that the taxes, fees, and port expenses are $285.81. So if we pull up a calculator, we have 285.51, I believe, plus the 629. So right now our running total is 914.51. Now I'm gonna, be lenient and say that the port fees would probably apply to each person. So even though, say, their fare is the second guest, it would be free, the port fees would be doubled. So if we go back, we'll just confirm that. So we see 285.81, so it's like 30 cents off. So 285.81, and we do that times 2. So that should be the amount for the taxes. What does it say? It says the taxes, fees, and port expenses, right? So that's, oh, I don't know what happened there. That's okay. So let's go back to the calculator. So then we'll add 629. So the running total right now should be $1,200 for this cruise, and it's going to be for 2 people. It will be for my girlfriend and myself. So the running total should be $1,200. We both pay separate taxes, fees. That makes sense. And then the 629. So then if we go back here and we do start planning, and it's going to load. Here we go. Okay. So now we'll do number of guests, 2. Yep. So the second one should go free based on what they're saying. I didn't say it. All right. So now we're going to select our dates. We're going to do in July. Now we have this inside, and now we're seeing 679 instead of the 629. So what happened to the 629 room? Well, let's select and see, because that is the cheapest room of those options. And we see inside starting at 679. So already we're $50 higher than what was advertised. So what happened? So we see there's the family inside. These inside staterooms are the most affordable way for the whole family to cruise, with room for 4. You'll have 2 lower beds that convert into a queen-size bed and additional bedding. So I'm not sure why. And when we see now, it's not even 6, it's 749. So it's not really saying, well, what happened to our 629? So then we see there's 679, and that has, with room up for up to 3 guests, these staterooms are the most affordable way. They include 2 lower beds. Okay. And So that's $679, and Sail Away inside is sold out. So there's not even an option for the $629. So the $629 is gone. So $679. So that's an extra $50. So we'll add $50 to our running total. So we're at $12.50. And again, that's taxes, fees, and port expenses for 2 people, plus what is now the fare, $679, because the $629 is not available. So we'll select this one. And it's going to load. Okay. And now, here, how did we get to $2,346? How did we go from, how am I so far off? I'm nearly half off. So if we minus 23.46, I'm $1,000 off. Where did that come from? So if we look at the breakdown, we see the stateroom. So this is just the stateroom fee is $13.58, and they're trying to make it seem like that's a deal. But I was advertised that it was $6.79. So where did we get to $13.58? Now, if we go back to here, so $6.79 times 2 is $13.58. But the second guest was supposed to go free, and it was at $6.79. And then $13.58 times 2 is their $27.16. So they're saying that the fare was $13.58, and then that we're getting one free. But then where did the $6.79 come from? And then it's saying all this stuff. So this whole 2 guests is deceptive. It's completely deceptive advertising. I mean, I don't know what laws there are, but this is completely deceptive, because that's not including the open bar gratuities. That's another $3.92 fine. That's extra, and the $20. But they advertise very clearly $6.79. They actually start at $6.29, but then I guess to get everything included is $6.79, and now we're looking at $13.58. So there is no free guest. I mean, they're saying it's a free guest, but they just doubled the price and then divided it by 2, which means that there isn't. So very deceptive, slimy advertising from Norwegian Cruise Lines. Now, I mean, I haven't seen this with Royal Caribbean. The price actually comes out, at least for the fare. They're not doing this stuff with just the stateroom price. There's obviously always these extra fees, but that's not what I'm talking about. So let me know down in the comments if I'm missing something. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but just based on what they're saying, this is what's coming out. Thanks for watching.